"Grandma, why do you smell weird?" 5 words, spoken by a child with no filter, and yet they hit Linda like a punch to the chest. She was 68. She had just baked her famous oatmeal cookies, the same ones her granddaughter Emily used to beg for. But when she reached out for a hug, Emily leaned away, wrinkled her nose, and said it, loud enough for everyone in the room to hear. That night, Linda didn't cry because of the words. She cried because, deep down, she had wondered the same thing. Have you ever had that quiet suspicion that maybe people around you are pulling back just a little, but never say why? The seat next to you on the bus stays empty. The grandkids don't cuddle like they used to. Your daughter opens a window when you visit, just for fresh air. They don't say it, but you feel it. And here's the hard truth. As we age, our bodies change in ways we don't always see, but others can sense. And one of those changes is scent. Not because you're not clean, not because you've done anything wrong, but because time changes your skin, your oils, your chemistry, and no one tells you. Not until one day, someone says it out loud, or worse, doesn't say anything at all. But what if I told you this isn't permanent? That with just a few simple changes, you could not only remove the source of the scent, but regain the warmth, closeness, and confidence that may have quietly faded away. Because this isn't about embarrassment. It's about dignity, about connection, about being able to hug your grandchild without hesitation and see them smile, not step back. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this smell happens, why no one talks about it, and more importantly, what you can do starting today to change it. This might just be the most quietly powerful thing you ever learn about growing older. So stay with me, because the truth is, you don't smell old. Your body is just asking for a little help. Let's begin. It never happens all at once. No one ever turns to you and says, "You smell different now." But the signs are there. Quiet, subtle, and real. Your grandson used to run into your arms after school. Now he pauses, maybe smiles politely, then sits on the other couch. Your daughter-in-law opens a window when you visit, says it's stuffy. But it wasn't 5 minutes ago. Your church friends shift just slightly when you lean in to chat. And the seat beside you on the bus? Always the last to be filled. No one says anything unkind, but you feel it in the hesitation, in the space, in the air. It's a kind of loneliness no one talks about. Not the kind that comes from being alone, but the kind that comes from being near others and still feeling distant. Harold, a retired teacher and grandfather of 4, shared something heartbreaking in my office one day. I used to read bedtime stories to my grandkids. They'd pile up on the bed, tug at my sleeves. Now they don't come close unless someone makes them. I thought maybe I talked too much about history. But deep down, I think I know it's the way I smell. And he was right. Not because he was dirty. Harold showered every morning, but because aging had quietly changed his body's chemistry, and no one had told him. Here's the truth. Most seniors don't even know this scent exists until someone pulls away. And when no one explains it, that distance feels personal, like rejection. But it's not about love disappearing. It's about understanding something our bodies do naturally, and learning how to care for it differently. Because once you know what causes it, you can take the power back. And that begins with a question most of us never ask. What actually causes this scent? Not myths, not guesses, but real, scientific reasons. Let's explore them now and uncover what's truly happening beneath the surface. Let's clear something up right away. This isn't about poor hygiene. In fact, many older adults are more diligent than ever. They shower, change clothes, keep their homes clean. But the scent people sometimes associate with aging doesn't come from being dirty. It comes from changes in the body that are silent, invisible, and totally natural. Here's what most people don't realize. First, as we age, our bodies sweat less. That sounds like a good thing. No sweat, no smell, right? But in reality, sweat helps us flush out toxins through the skin. Without enough of it, waste products linger longer, feeding bacteria on the surface of our skin. And that, over time, leads to odor. Barbara, 71, once asked me, "I barely sweat anymore, so why do I still smell?" The answer? Less sweat equals more buildup. Second, the oils on our skin change, especially after age 50. Our sebaceous glands begin producing a compound called 2-nonenal. It's an oxidized fatty acid that's almost undetectable in younger people, but it becomes more concentrated as we age, and it has a distinct, slightly greasy scent that clings to skin, hair, and clothing. You can shower every day, but if you're not addressing the right areas or using the right approach, that scent lingers. Third, there's the mouth, one of the most overlooked sources of discomfort. Saliva plays a key role in keeping the mouth clean and balanced. But after 60, saliva production can drop by more than 50%, and that dry environment is perfect for odor-causing bacteria to grow, leading to persistent bad breath, even in those who brush daily. Evelyn, 69, put it perfectly. My mouth always feels dry, and I can smell it when I talk. It makes me avoid people, even my own family. So if you've ever wondered, why do I still have this smell even when I shower and brush my teeth? Now you know. It's not about how often you clean. It's about how and where you clean, and how your body's natural functions are shifting with age. The good news? These changes aren't a life sentence, because now that you understand where the scent comes from, we can talk about the most common mistake people make when trying to fix it, and why cologne, perfume, or deodorant might be doing more harm than good. Let's talk about it next. When Frank came to see me, he looked frustrated. "Doc," he said, "I've tried everything. Expensive colognes, fancy deodorants, air fresheners in my room, even lavender sachets in my shirt drawer. But my son still cracks a window every time he visits. It's like I'm doing something wrong, and I don't even know what it is." Frank's story isn't uncommon. In fact, it's one of the most common mistakes I see seniors make when trying to solve the problem. They reach for perfume, body spray, or strong soap, believing that if something smells bad, the answer is to cover it up. But here's the truth. Perfume doesn't remove odor, it mixes with it. And what you end up with isn't fresh. It's fragrance layered on top of oxidation and bacteria, which can actually make the scent stronger, sharper, and more unpleasant. It's like spraying air freshener in a room that hasn't been cleaned. Sure, it smells like flowers for a second, but underneath, the mustiness lingers. Sometimes, it's even worse than before. Even worse. Many colognes and deodorants contain alcohol or synthetic fragrances that dry out the skin, and that dryness can actually make the 2-nonenal scent cling harder. So what's the alternative? You don't need to mask the smell. You need to remove its source. That starts with washing the right areas, using the right products, and building a routine that works with your body, not against it. It's about restoring your skin's balance, reducing bacteria naturally, and letting your body breathe again. Frank made one simple change. He stopped using strong cologne and started using a gentle, unscented antibacterial wash, focusing on the areas I'll show you in a moment. And in just 2 weeks, the difference wasn't just noticeable. It changed how his family responded to him. They hugged me again without hesitation, he told me, eyes welling up, and I finally felt like myself. That's the power of going beyond the surface. Because when you care for the root of the issue, the connection comes back, naturally, beautifully, and without effort. So where do we begin? With the 3 most neglected areas of the body, the zones where odor hides, and most people forget to clean thoroughly. Let's walk through them, step by step. Most people believe if they shower every day, they're clean. And that's mostly true for general hygiene. But when it comes to the specific scent associated with aging, the issue isn't whether you shower, it's where you clean, and how well. You see, certain areas of the body are like little hiding places for odor. And unfortunately, they're often the spots we rush through, or forget altogether. Let's break them down. Zone 1, the folds. Think about all the soft, warm spaces on your body where skin touches skin. Under the arms, beneath the breasts, around the groin, behind the knees, the back of the neck, the belly button, behind the ears. These areas trap moisture, bacteria, and dead skin cells. The perfect recipe for odor if not washed thoroughly. And yet, many people, especially with reduced mobility, barely scrub them at all. Barbara, a 73-year-old widow, told me, "I used to just do a quick rinse. I thought soap running down would do the job. I never realized I had to actually wash and dry the folds, gently, but intentionally. It changed everything. Zone 2, the hairy areas. Hair holds scent. That's why perfume is sprayed on the neck or chest. It lingers longer. Now think about your scalp, chest, and underarms. These areas contain oil glands that produce sebum, and with age, that sebum changes, becoming more prone to oxidation and odor. Washing your scalp thoroughly, massaging with fingertips, not just rubbing, is crucial. So is cleaning any chest or body hair with care. If you have facial hair, like a beard or mustache, it deserves the same attention. Zone 3, the feet and toes. Often the most forgotten, but one of the most odor-prone. Our feet spend hours trapped in shoes. Sweat builds. Bacteria grow between the toes. Yet most people barely touch them in the shower. Wash between the toes. Dry them completely. Rotate shoes. Wear breathable socks. These small actions make a huge difference, not just in how you smell, but in how fresh you feel all day. Frank, the same man who struggled with cologne, began focusing on these 3 zones. He used a soft washcloth and mild soap, took his time, and made it part of his daily routine. After just 1 week, his daughter hugged him and said, "Dad, I don't know what you're doing, but you smell like yourself again." That's the kind of change we're after. Not perfection, not perfume, just presence, comfort, confidence. But hygiene isn't the only factor. What you eat, wear, and drink each day also plays a powerful role in how your body smells from the inside out. Let's explore that next. Clean skin is a great start. But what most people don't realize is this. Your body's scent doesn't just come from what's on the outside. It comes from what's happening inside, too. Just like the food you eat affects your breath, it also influences your skin, your sweat, and yes, your scent. Let's take a closer look. Your diet, fuel or fumes. As we age, our digestion slows. The liver processes fats differently, and certain foods, especially ones high in sulfur, preservatives, or artificial ingredients, can cause body odor to intensify. Ever notice how garlic, onions, or red meat can come through your pores? Now imagine that effect, but longer lasting if your body isn't flushing toxins well. Instead, fill your plate with water-rich fruits and veggies, cucumbers, celery, watermelon, pears. Antioxidant-rich foods, tomatoes, berries, spinach in moderation, apples. Green teas or herbal infusions, which naturally support detox and hydration. These foods help fight the oxidation process that leads to 2-nonenal production, the key culprit behind old person smell. Harold once swapped his usual bacon and eggs breakfast for oatmeal, blueberries, and green tea. He laughed when he said, "I didn't just smell better, I felt better too." Your clothing, skin's second home. Even if your body is clean, wearing yesterday's shirt, or using a towel that hasn't dried properly, can undo everything. Here's what to do. Change underwear daily. Wash clothes that touch skin every use. Use natural fabrics like cotton or bamboo. They breathe better than synthetics. Air out shoes and wear fresh socks daily. And don't forget your bedding. Wash sheets and pillowcases once a week. Your skin spends hours resting on them every night. Your environment, let fresh air in. Living in a closed, unventilated space can make odors stick around longer. Even if your home is clean, stale air holds onto scent. Open windows for 10 to 15 minutes each day, weather permitting. Use natural air purifiers, like baking soda or activated charcoal. Consider essential oils like lemon or eucalyptus in a diffuser. Gentle, not overwhelming. All of this, your food, your fabrics, your fresh air, becomes part of your scent story. And when you tend to it with intention, your body doesn't just smell better. You move through the world feeling lighter, clearer, and more connected to those around you. But there's one more piece of this puzzle. Even when your skin is clean, your diet is balanced, and your clothes are fresh. If you don't feel good about yourself, the distance can still remain. Let's now talk about something even more personal and powerful. How scent impacts confidence, dignity, and the courage to reach for closeness again. You might not think a scent could change the way you walk into a room, but ask anyone who's felt others subtly lean away instead of leaning in, And they'll tell you, it does. Harold once said something I've never forgotten. It's not just that I thought I smelled bad. It's that I felt like I didn't belong anymore. When your scent makes others uncomfortable, even when it's not your fault, you start to retreat. You might avoid hugging your grandkids. You might sit alone at family gatherings. You might stop initiating conversation, stop making plans, stop showing up. Not because you're tired, but because part of you feels less welcome. And over time, that invisible distance becomes a habit. But here's the beautiful truth. It doesn't have to stay that way. Because the scent of your body is not just about sweat or skin. It's a reflection of how you care for yourself. And when you begin to tend to it with kindness and intention, something powerful happens. You stop hiding. You lift your chin. You hold your hand out for that hug again. And this time they lean in. Because closeness doesn't just happen. It's something we create. Through warmth, through presence, and yes, through the way we care for our bodies. This is not about shame. It's about dignity. About remembering that you're still worthy of being held, of being close, of being seen, fully, kindly, and without hesitation. So if this message stirred something in you, if you've ever felt that quiet distance, or wondered what changed, now you know. And now, you can do something about it. Let's take back that closeness. Let's bring the comfort back into your arms, the welcome back into your presence, and the peace back into your heart. Because aging may change many things, but it should never take away your right to feel clean, confident, and completely yourself. As we grow older, there are many things we expect to change: our pace, our routines, even our priorities. But the one change that often surprises us is how others begin to keep their distance. Not because they love us less, but because of something we never saw coming. A quiet scent our bodies begin to carry with age. Today, we learned that this old person smell isn't a failure of hygiene. It's a biological shift. From the way our skin produces oils, to how we sweat, to the foods we eat and the clothes we wear. It's all connected. But here's what moved me most as I dove into this topic. We don't lose closeness because we're aging. We lose it when we stop believing we deserve it. This video isn't just about washing better or eating cleaner. It's about reclaiming the confidence to be fully present again, to lean in, to hug freely, to feel welcome in every room, not in spite of your age, but because of everything it's taught you. Personally, I believe dignity isn't something we earn once and keep forever. It's something we choose to protect every day, in how we care for ourselves and how we show up for the people we love. So if today's message resonated with you, please like this video to let us know. Comment below, what small change will you start with? And subscribe to this channel if you want more honest, empowering conversations about aging well and living fully. Because this stage of life isn't about fading away. It's about shining in your own way, with grace, clarity, and closeness.